So imagine this, my friends, that your business is blooming and your website is getting tremendous traffic. But how do you make sure that your infrastructure is able to handle this surge? Or probably it might be on the verge of crashing down. And that's why, my friends, you really need to understand the concept of scaling in Amazon AWS. But you know what? Scaling is not just about handling the traffic. It is actually about maintaining the high availability for your application and also leverage from the Amazon's massive economics of scale to save the cost. So in this important videos, my friends, we are going to take some questions and answers to understand all these AWS critical concepts so that you are well prepared for the AWS Cloud Practitioner exam. So let's get started with this exciting video. So let's begin this exciting episode 51 with the question number 331. The question is saying, which of the following is an example of horizontal scaling in the AWS cloud? Now the given options are: option A, replacing an existing EC2 instance with a larger and more powerful one. Option B, increasing the compute capacity of a single EC2 instance to address the growing demands of an application. Option C, adding more RAM capacity to an existing EC2 instance. And option D, adding more EC2 instances of the same size to handle the increase in the traffic. Now friends, to begin with, there are two types of more or less. Now friends, to begin with, there are on a high level, there are two types of scaling. Now friends, to begin with, on a very high level, there are two types of scaling. One is horizontal scaling and one is vertical scaling. This question, of course, is about the horizontal scaling. Now let me give you the correct answer and then I will give you documentation and also summarize the answer for you. The correct answer for this question is option D, adding more EC2 instances of the same size to handle an increase in the traffic. So let me give you some more details on it. So as I was saying, there are two high-level scaling available in AWS. First one is horizontal scaling and the other one is vertical scaling. Now let me tell you what exactly is horizontal scaling. So horizontal scaling, my friends, which is also known as scaling out, involves adding more machines or the nodes to your existing infrastructure to handle the increase in the demands. Let me give you an example. This approach is more or like hiring more employees to share the workloads rather than upgrading the skills of your current employees or current members. And in the cloud computing, horizontal scaling is particularly useful for the application that needs to maintain performance during traffic spikes. And the great part is, by distributing the load across multiple servers, you can ensure that your application remains responsive. Now coming to the vertical scaling, of course, that's the opposite of horizontal scaling. This is also known as scaling up, and this involves enhancing the resources of an existing machine or the server to handle the increase in the demand. And this can be achieved by upgrading components such as CPU, RAM or storage capacity. And you can think it of as boosting the power of your current system rather than adding more systems. Vertical scaling, my friends, is often simpler to implement than the horizontal scaling because it does not require distributing load across multiple machines. So let me give you some documentation also. The first documentation I want to share with you is this one, architecting the reliable scalability. Here to start with, you can of course understand what exactly is scalability, and the core essence is that you build your application, build it for today with tomorrow in the mind. So you should always, while designing and deploying an application, consider what will be the demand spikes or what is going to be increased in the demand or the visitors coming to your website or your application. Keeping all that increase in traffic in the years to come, you design your application. Then, of course, you can understand related concept, the modularity. Once you understand all this and you keep scrolling, you will reach to this section here. This is horizontal scaling, and this section will give you more details to what I already mentioned or already gave you the explanation. Then you can also come down and understand what is the serverless computing, how you can design for it. There is a architecture also given, and similarly you can understand the other aspects. Then I can give you one more documentation. It is this one, which says what is the Amazon EC2 auto scaling. Here once again you can understand all what I shared with you in a very quick summary. You can understand that all. So please go ahead, wonderful documentation, read them all and understand the scaling part in AWS Cloud. And friends, in the next episode, we are going to take some important concepts like database migration to AWS, domain name system, and also the cost reduction. All these concepts are super important if you really want to work on Amazon AWS. So please make sure to join me on the next episode. And also you can avail all the PDF files with the questions and the answers on multiple exam series, and for that consider pressing the join button or email me at connectus@thetechblackboard.com. Here comes question number 332 that says, which of the following can an AWS customer use to launch a new Amazon relational database service Amazon RDS cluster? And your options are AWS Concierge, option B AWS CloudFormation, option C Amazon Simple Storage Service, better known as Amazon S3. Then we have option D Amazon EC2 Auto Scaling, and lastly option E AWS Management Console. The correct answer, my friends, could you guess it? Well, it is option E, AWS Management Console. And here comes the documentation on AWS Management Console. But let me very quickly summarize this for you. See, the AWS Management Console is a web-based application that lets the users access the broad range of the services included in the Amazon Web Services, or as we better know it, AWS platform. And it also provides easy navigation, centralized access to these services. And let me give you some use cases for the AWS Management Console. First of all, the users can deploy new application and monitor the existing one. Secondly, the users can manage the account, including monitoring monthly spending and billing activities. Thirdly, my friends, users can update the users group and build new application through the AWS Management Console. And all this and much more is given in this documentation. Please read the documentation, and links to all the documentation as always is given in the description box. And with that, let's move on to the next question. Question number 333 that says, a company has developed an e-commerce web application in the AWS cloud. Now, what should they ensure that the application has the high level of availability? Let's check out the options given. Option A, deploy the application across multiple availability zones and edge locations. Option B, deploy the application across multiple availability zones and subnets. Please mind the minute differences between the options given here. Option C is deploy the application across multiple regions and the availability zones. And lastly, option D, deploy the application across multiple VPCs and the subnets. Very important questions, loads of concepts and important terms in the AWS cloud, and not just probably AWS cloud. All these terms are also valid in the other cloud computing. So let me give you the correct answer here. That is option C, deploy the application across multiple regions and availability zone. And as I was saying, my friends, this is a super important question, not just from the exam perspective, but you really need to understand the concepts like regions, availability zones, subnets, availability sets. These concepts will really, or should I say, these are the core concepts based on which you can build application which are highly available and highly durable. So let me give you some more details here why we have picked this as an answer. See, first of all, deploying application across multiple regions. This will provide geographical redundancy, protecting against the region-wide outages and the disasters. This will offer multiple benefits. For example, resilience if one of the AZs or the availability zones or even the entire region experience some issues or some failures, the application can still continue running from the other locations. But for now, we can move to the next question. Question number 334 that says, how do the customers benefit from the Amazon's massive economics of scale? Your options are periodic price reductions as the result of Amazon's operational efficiency. Option B, new Amazon EC2 instance type providing the latest hardware. Option C, the ability to scale up and scale down when needed. And then finally, option D, increased reliability in underlying hardware of the Amazon EC2 instances. And the correct answer for this one is option A, periodic price reduction as the result of Amazon's operational efficiencies. Now, I will not give the explanation to this. I hope you can already understand what exactly the reasons behind it and how Amazon achieved these operational efficiencies with the economics of scale. And I would really appreciate if one of you can put some comment how this is done. that will be really beneficial for all the other viewers as well. But for now, let's move on to the next question. Question number 335 that says which AWS service or feature allows the user to connect with and deploy AWS services programmatically. Options given are option A, AWS Management Console, option B, AWS Cloud9, option C, AWS Code Pipeline, and option D, AWS Software Development Kits, or better known as SDK. So what do you think is the correct answer? Well, it is actually option D, AWS Software Development Kits. Let me give you a very good documentation on the same. So here it is. Here you can understand all about the AWS Software Development Kit. But let me give you a quick summary on this. So AWS Software Development Kit, my friend, it really allows the users to connect and deploy with the AWS services programmatically, as we saw in the question as well. Now the AWS SDK, it provides language specific APIs and the libraries that enables the developers to integrate with the AWS services directly into their application. And the wonderful part is that this offers full programmatic control and the flexibility, allowing for the fine-grained customization of the AWS interactions within the application code. So in case you're ready to take on the exam series on both Microsoft Azure and Amazon AWS, then you can surely benefit from our multiple exam series on both of these top cloud providers. And not just that, we also keep on making videos on free exam vouchers, insights into the world of generative AI, artificial intelligence, and also machine learning. And yes, do not forget to subscribe to the channel, press that bell icon, and also do not miss to select that all option so that you are receiving all the timely notifications. And that's all for today. I will see you in the next video. Till then, stay fit, keep learning, and thanks for watching.